Tonight, tonight, a special. Simone Williams, 37 years old, single mother, three daughters, currently a model, fitness motivator, sexual assault advocate, primary prevention coordinator, Building Violence Prevention Coalition, and attends UTA for Masters of Public Administration. In the past, it's a BA in English and writing, and she's from the Army, Air Force, and the aircraft mechanic. Right now, we're going to go on your journey, step one, and then what's going on with you in the present.
Okay. Oh, it's been a long journey. Starting out with my childhood, we didn't have much growing up. I had a single mother of three children. Um, I am Black and Polish. Um, I just, as I moved through life with the cards that I was dealt, I made some bad choices, was on the wrong, path. And then I got into the military. I started getting a little bit better with my choices and what I was doing, but I had some changes to make. And then I went on to get married. I got divorced. I uh, After my divorce, I kind of just made a whole change in my life. I decided I wanted to do what I wanted to do, regardless of the cost. So I went back to school, got my bachelor's, and then I got into this job that I'm currently at RBCC. And we're building a violence prevention coalition. As I was doing all of that, someone, Brian Loston, he had asked me to take some pictures.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
yeah, I actually did it just to get out of being so shy. And he posted the pictures from that. Other photographers saw, them. And since then, it's just been nonstop.
Yeah, well, I kind of knew that you were very, very active. I saw the modeling pictures because you would post them up, and I noticed that from the gate. But you got a nice little workload right there.
Yes, sir.
Fitness motivator, sexual assault advocate, primary prevention coordinator, you're building violence prevention coalition, and attend UTA. What's that? University of Texas.
In Arlington.
Arlington. Okay, cool. Yeah. So, I figured that you had a pretty good journey in life, which a lot of people do. Everybody have different walks. Some people have a silver spoon. Some people in the middle with the middle class, and then there's the people that's coming from the grind. So everybody is definitely not going to be have that silver spoon, of course. And like I said, well, I've been telling the people that basically this is a platform for the people, um, athletes, but really the life coach people are the people that I'm really going for. And that's the most important thing to me is people actually giving back, because I've been a giver all my life also, because I'm a PA announcer by naturally. I'm just a PA announcer. So all of that has something to do with working with kids, and they're walking all types of lives, in this arena that we're in. And it's always good to try to help people, no matter what, because you never know what people are actually going through. But you know, you keep on explaining yourself to the people because I know your journey. That wasn't nothing. I know
It was. It wasn't. It was nowhere close.
yeah, yeah. That was a snowflake. I got
It
you.
was. It was.
So you can go
It's
ahead
hard
and
to. It's hard to explain the whole journey because it's been so all over the place.
yeah,
As a kid, I I always felt like I was in the background. I was always watching everybody else. I didn't really feel seen. We didn't have a lot of money. For a few years, I went to a school where, I dealt with a lot of racism. That's kind of
yeah,
what
of course.
passion in me about, violence prevention and racial justice. Um, Being biracial, you're always in the middle. You
Yeah,
never really fit anywhere. My place is in the Black community, but I that was even a struggle. You growing up, you had to prove you were Black enough, and you
of
fight your way
course.
through, and so it's kind of like that's where my heart is. Like
Yeah,
I didn't I don't want to say that I didn't have anybody that believed in me. My mother worked hard, but
yeah,
she went to school. And as a single mother, you can only do so much. And so sometimes, your kids take their own way. And
yeah,
I had to do that. Like I
yeah,
was not the type of person that you could tell me and I could learn from it. I wish I was. I wish I get other kids to understand that. But it was a struggle. I was used to chaos. I was used to things always being up and down. And so you kind of go that course.
yeah,
And where there isn't chaos, you create it. So what I had to realize was like, even as I was going to school and stuff like that, I still had that mentality, you know.
yeah,
So there were a lot of changes that I needed to make. And through my divorce, it was kind of like, who are you? You
yeah,
know, what is it that you want? And I learned like through the course of it all, it doesn't matter how much anybody else believes in you.
yeah,
It
of course.
what they say, what they do, like until you get to that point where it's like I'm gonna stand up and regardless what background I had, I'm going to push through and I deserve this just as much as anybody else. It was then when like I really started believing in myself, when I just started putting the videos. I've always liked to work out. So it was something that, was nothing new. I didn't do it for social media. It was kind of like, oh, I do these workouts. Let me post them. And, a lot of people started liking them and trying them out and everything. And even with my athleticism, it was kind of like back in the day, I ran track. That was my escape. It didn't cost my mother anything to do it. And I didn't really have anybody even sitting there watching me.
Yeah,
But I even, messed that up. I was a teenage pregnant girl. I was a dropout in the 10th grade. So I never saw myself, even being in grad school. And
but you know what though, people don't see you in that light because I can see, how people you get a reaction from people. Whenever
mhm,
you're around, I noticed that I can even see it. They would have never known that journey. It just looks so fairy tale to them,
mhm,
and and once again, you never know the journey because that's what this show really is called. It's called the journey. You never know where how the journey changes up for you because pretty much everybody knows somebody that went through something or
mhm,
they may have not have paid any attention to them try to help them, but there was always issues just like with the basketball league. I was around kids that was they some of them had silver spoons but some of them come from the grind, and
mhm,
it would be kids that straight to the left, but for the most part you just try to stay in their ear and keep them going with themselves. Try to just keep them up. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah,
So I'm quite sure that's how you did the shift with yourself. You took the negative and said, you know what, I'm gonna keep pushing positive, in order for it to go forward for yourself, and that was the true blessing actually that blew out the flower. You know what I mean? And for you
Mhm.
to keep going, but keep your story. We got a couple things we're gonna talk about too. So
Okay, all right.
uh,
I got after my divorce, like I was looking for love in, all the wrong places. And you when you're looking for somebody else to uh, make you feel wanted, all of those things, like it's never going to happen. It doesn't matter how much they what they do. But I think sometimes you have to hit rock bottom. And my divorce, it was my rock bottom.
yeah,
So who I was facing all my stuff from the past, and it was kind of like, what are you going to do about it? And one thing that I have always known is adversity. And so, just like you said, it's like you fight through, you push through, and those naysayers, and
oh, that's gonna always exist.
yeah, like, but those were my motivators. It was like the more you told me, I had already known, or I was already, rebellious. So
Yeah,
I took that rebellion and changed it into a positive,
that's the only thing you could have done,
yeah.
or else it would have took you straight to the ground.
Oh, of course, of
Yeah, it
course.
took you straight to the ground. Yeah,
I mean, the life that I was living, before I got married, before I went into the military, probably either headed to jail or would end up dead. Um,
wow.
and so it was like I was in a lot of things that didn't benefit me in any
Yeah,
way, and I
of
was just
course.
kind of lost, you know. So it was just the course of, and there were those people, and that's why I say it's so important, like what you tell and what you say to kids, even if you have only have a minute with them, because there were certain people that would say things like, you don't belong here, what are you doing here, and I would just kind of blow it off, whatever. I'm right where I need to be, and everything. And I remember those words though. Like as
Yeah,
I was fighting, as I was pushing forward, as I decided I wanted something different. I remember just those small little, seeds that were planted, and they kept me going.
yeah. But you changed the perception of your journey, the way it was going, and it's a different look probably on you anyway now. So
Hmm.
you going past all of that, and it's obviously you've lined up enough for you to stay busy and keep focus on those things that you have listed right here.
Hmm.
Because I'm quite sure the fitness thing, you could do that all every day, every 5 minutes if you want to. So
Yeah.
but all the other things, even though you went through your struggles, I see that you still are giving back and trying to help people, even though you had heartache and pain
Mm.
also on your ride, your journey. And people have to commend people like that, because people look at you and might see, oh, she had a silver spoon, but
Yeah.
but
No.
your story is already, you like a football player. It's so it's like you never know where the journey, how it begins to get better for you, and it's obvious you look like you're a little bit more content, and you're
Hmm.
in your space now, and that's a great thing. Of course, that's a great quality. But back to your story, I'm quite sure you can keep going.
Oh, that's so much. As far as the fitness thing, it was kind of like it was my piece. It was the first bit of my piece. It's how I would cope with things, how I would
Yeah,
get through the hard times. Um, and so I had done, a little video about how I went through as a teenager a domestic violence relationship.
yeah,
Um, One word or the few words that he said to me, which wasn't meant to benefit me, was pain doesn't last. And so, when people talk about, well, you're so motivated and this and that or whatever, like when I'm hurting, when I'm pushing through, when I'm on those videos working out and trying new things, those are the words I remind myself. Like, it does not last. At some point, it's got to end, you know. And so, I started doing the videos, and then I decided that I wanted to tell people some of my story, because I feel like once you're finished with it, once you've moved through it, it's for somebody else.
Of
Um,
course.
that journey, that story, that whatever, because you're not the only one going through it. You're not the only one that went through it, And so I just started putting out my life, out there or whatever. And there were a few people that had things to say, negative things to say about it.
Of course.
But that wasn't really for me to worry about, you know. If if I had not done all these things, it would have all been in vain. You know, I had three daughters that I had to make a better life for. Um, the modeling thing is crazy to me. I never that was never my intention. I love to do it. I love to dress up, and just feeling like when I was younger that I was in the background
Of
and
course.
seeing. It's the irony that comes from now I have a camera focused on me, and you know hundreds, thousands people are seeing my pictures and they're loving it,
Yeah.
and like I tell them for
Well,
every.
it's your time. It's like things
Oh,
come in time. In
yeah.
time. So the timing is there for you, and all your heartache and pain that you were actually going through at the time. Now you're reaping the goodness of it, and luckily you kept going in the right direction, because some people don't go in the right direction. They actually go, they can keep going the opposite way.
Hmm.
That's a great testimony to yourself,
Thank
warding off all the demons, and because that's what it was. It was something you had to go through. Something, God don't put nothing on you that you can't get yourself out
you.
of. And oh, shout out to DJ Paul. He's a world. That's my guy right there, DJ Paul. DJ Paul, world famous DJ, Power 105. Um, and it's a great thing to see that you have, because like I said, I didn't know this wasn't. I didn't know all that.
Yeah, yeah.
It was just do you want to do the interview? I think you could probably share a nice little journey with the people, and you know, but this is pretty cool because there's a inner part of you that probably a lot of people didn't know, because they're just worrying about this model. Oh, she's a model. She's doing this. She's doing that. She's doing this, and yet there was a whole lot of stuff on the inside that you got a chance to really tell your story. And this is great because this platform right here actually auto plays. Once it went to your page, it's going to stay
Mhm.
there until you move it out the way. So
Got you.
you know
Thank
so
you for having me.
yeah, so that was definitely this is a blessing coming right to you too, to be able to stream, and now you can tell a mass audience of 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 your walk. You walked a different walk. It's not
Mhm.
like you didn't walk differently than others, because there's plenty that got walks
Yes.
worse than that. You
Yep.
know, but you rebounded. It looks like you rebounded and have gotten yourself rolling and going. It's a great thing. Back to your story.
um, I think it just all comes down to I needed to find peace, and I needed to feel like I had a purpose in this world. And I hate going through the motions. That's probably why I've tried so many different things, and careers and degrees and things like that.
Yeah.
Society, there's they teach you to go to this traditional course. You got to have this planned out. You go to school, you get the job, and that's just not the way life works. And I think it puts too much pressure on people, and they feel like they're failing. Even with me going on the right course, or getting on the right course, like there were times that I jumped off, And I think too many people think that like once they mess up again, it's done. And it's not. I've also learned that people will believe in you as much as you believe in yourself. Um, so, when I started picking my head up and when I started pushing through and trying new things, even though I was like, nobody's worried about, what I have to say or what I'm doing and this, and that. And the love that was received, was everything.
Yeah.
I had no idea that, people would take to me, and they've been my supporters all the time with every picture I put out, every, you know, um, every endeavor that I go through. Like there's somebody there cheering me on.
Yeah.
And it makes a difference, especially like as a single mother, having that support system, that tribe. Um, my kids have this amazing godfather that helped me while I went through school. I mean, when I couldn't cook, he was cooking for them. He's retired military,
Oh, okay.
and he watched them when I needed to get to school or when I needed to get to work. And I couldn't have done it
Oh,
without.
okay.
And I think when we sit here and we say, "Well, I did all of this myself," like that's BS.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like there's somebody, this world, you don't get through this world without somebody helping you along the way.
Of course. Or
So,
you're either going to listen to someone who told you constructive criticism, or you're not. And that's
mhm,
where, like me, I grew up, I didn't have a father, but I'm a father of my kids. And
mhm,
you just got to correct all the things that need to be correct as you go, the best way, the best of your ability. And because through it all, you're still with your kids. And although you're single, you're still with your kids, but you have a nice little support line, right there
mhm.
with you. So that's pretty cool too. Remember, because sometimes people just let people go,
Yep.
and that's just the way they do it. But because you're a part of the sexual assault advocate, you're an advocator on that,
Mhm.
primary prevention coordinator, your building violence prevention coalition. I can see right there that you get your time is right in there. You putting in some time. So
Yes.
you
Yes.
definitely putting some time. All right, now here's a little off the subject.
Uh-huh.
Who do you like, the Houston Texans or the Dallas Cowboys?
Oh, see, like I do not watch sports.
Oh, okay,
I like to participate in sports, but I will say if I had to choose, it would be Dallas Cowboys.
okay, okay. I figured. I figured. Yeah, Houston,
That's what
Houston. I got you.
Well, that's what, like when we would have our family get-togethers, and they were Dallas Cowboy fanatics. Uh,
Okay.
my brother's like the only Green Bay fan out of the whole family, but they would come, every Sunday. The whole family would get
Mhm.
together and watch the game.
Now check this out. Tony Dorsett went to Pitt, right? Uh,
Hmm.
but his sister lived a block away from me growing up. So I used to
Uh-huh.
see Tony Dorsett just sitting on a beach chair every summer for like 10 years. And he would just say, "Hey, what's up, buddy?" And
Oh
that was
my.
it. So it's crazy. He had a Philly tie. His sister lived only about a block from me, and it was pretty cool. I was like,
Mhm.
okay. I didn't even know who he was at the time. So I was just running around. He said Tony Dorsett. I don't watch football. I was like you at that time.
Yeah.
So you don't watch sports. You don't watch
Uh,
sports. Oh man. All
I
right. So
know.
we gonna switch it. We gonna switch it to sing. Music. What's
Okay.
your favorite kind of music first?
Oh, I like.
Could like country because you down here in Texas.
No, that's the only one I don't.
No, no.
Rap, R&B, real hip hop.
Oh,
Uh,
okay. Oh man, so we got about three that I can deliver. Okay, give me your top five old school hip hop rappers.
Okay. Whew.
Got to think now.
Wu-Tang,
Wu Tang, nothing to mess with. Okay.
Tribe Called Quest.
The Tribe Called Quest.
I'm
Fife.
I'm a Tupac, not a Biggie fan.
Oh, hey, I'm not surprised. Look, I was a Pac.
Uh,
You know, that's three.
oh God, I'm trying to think
It's
of.
a lot of old school. Come on,
Uh, I didn't say Common, right? Common.
Common is that old school? Yeah, I guess so. Yeah,
Yeah, I'm 83. I
he
was
was in
born
the
in
'90s.
83, so yeah, it took me out. God.
You got LL. You got Big Daddy Kane. You got
Mm,
you got quite a few
I
people
know,
to pick.
because I could go on all day.
Okay, we gonna switch it.
Okay.
Out of the current female hip hop artists, I mean, you could throw the Nickies in there. What five you got now? And it's quite a few right now.
Oh, see, I'm not. I
You can blend them in
don't know if
old.
I can give you five.
Just give me three.
I cannot remember her name to save my life.
Oxy Brown.
Oh, we're talking about okay. So we're going a little further back. So you know,
Yeah.
I just
Yeah.
right now at this. Oh, okay, okay, yes, okay. Um, Foxy Brown, MC Light, uh, Queen Latifah. Um, I liked Nicki Minaj at one point in her career.
Yeah. You know.
I'm not so much there. Um, I even say Cardi B just because
Oh yeah, Cardi B.
she just is who she is.
Yeah, Cardi B is definitely talented. You know, I like the song she did with what was that guy? They played it. They played it 400 times a day. Her and what's his name? Well, anyway, Cardi B song. Okay, so what about your female singers? Five. It could be older, young. You know, it doesn't matter.
Okay. Erica Badu. Uh,
Okay, Tyrone.
That's not my favorite, but
Yeah,
I take it.
yeah.
Um, let's see, Mahalia.
Mahalia Jackson. Oh, you going? You digging?
No. Mahalia, the new Mahalia.
Oh, it's a new Mahalia. Okay.
Yes, you gotta check her out. She's
Okay, I'm quite sure she's pretty cool. She's pretty cool.
um let's see here. God, I'm really trying to think. You know, when you get that
No Whitney Houston.
break. I did like Whitney Houston.
I mean, it's plenty. I mean, you got Patti LaBelle, Whitney Houston, Deborah Cox. Uh,
Deborah Cox.
Deborah Cox. Oh, yeah. I like Rochelle Farrell.
Yeah.
Man, she's definitely one of the best vocalists.
Um, look, I'm trying to think now.
Well,
Um,
skip over that. We might as well skip
okay.
over that. Who did you like in the verses between Brandy?
Oh, Monica. That's hands down. Like that wasn't even a question even before I watched it. After I
Okay.
it was
And
still
it's funny because one of the guys that I've been doing music with, he was actually on that project. So
uh-huh.
I met Brandy, Rodney Jerkins when they were they cut in Philly. A lot of people didn't know that. So they were down Larry Gold's uh but I think they did that in Cali. That particular project, that Full Moon. So
Okay.
I was actually around a little bit because one of the guys I hang with, he was one of the writers on that particular album. So that was pretty cool. I met Shaq, Rodney Jerkins, and all those people. Because I'm music. I'm really a music guy also. So I've been doing music for 20 years basically. And you know, I can tell you, I met Pac before. In fact, Pac hung
Mhm.
with us for 2 days. I stayed up in North Jersey, and we were at the time we being managed by a guy named Colin Davis, and he told us about him being in the movie, but he wasn't as big then because he was still with what's that, the guy, the
Uh,
Humphrey Rose. That was
Digital Underground, yeah.
the underground. So we met him, and he had just shot Juice. So this was like in the '90s, of course. And we met
Right.
him, and he hung with us for 2 days. I swear he never said hardly nothing. Never,
Really?
he never hardly said nothing. He had a little bag with a little liquor, green scarf on his head. You know how he rocked his
As
scarf, and
much as he talks on everything, he was quiet.
he was quiet. He ain't say nothing. So I was like, wow. I mean, and then it turned out to be, he definitely could talk.
Mm.
So but um,
He
I've
was
been
like,
around.
he was my,
Yeah, he was fire.
was my go-to. It was like, because I used to, write poetry and stuff like that. And when I would be in my mood, I would put my headphones on, and it was always, I was listening to Pac and writing, and that was my thing.
Okay. Yeah, well, he's definitely a legend. I mean, I got him. To me, I mean, remember he writes his stuff, so that's
Hmm.
like almost like a dying breed. It seems like now, all of them don't really write.
Yeah.
Um, but he was definitely one of the ones that could write. You could tell the way he wrote, nobody wrote like that, So,
Hmm.
he definitely was a very talented individual. Um, okay, yeah, we covered pretty much. You know, uh, Unless you got more of the journey, because we can jump right back into the journey.
Nah, I think I'm okay.
Okay, all
We'll
right,
get up again.
okay. Well, this is Simone Williams, 37-year-old, single mother, three daughters, currently a model, fitness motivator, sexual assault advocate, primary prevention coordinator, Building Violence Prevention Coalition, and attends UTA, Master of Public Administration. She says she was a BA in English and Writing, Army, Air Force, and aircraft mechanic. So you definitely had a whole lot on that list.
Yes, sir.
I can only imagine if you still doing all five of them, ain't no time no more. All
I
right.
hope I'll be able to add to them.
So you live in Texas. What part of Texas are you in?
Abilene, Texas. There's about 120 something thousand people here. Not
Abilene, Texas. Okay.
Yeah, 9% black. Uh,
Well,
I'm making or doing this coalition grassroots. We're starting from the bottom up with Chastity Williams.
yeah,
It's been a blessing, and we hope to impact this community, in a different way.
yeah. Well, like I said, I knew you had knew you had something in you. So that's why I said let me just find out if she would want to do it. And you did it. You did great. You told people your story and your journey. I wish you nothing but goodness in your endeavors. Keep going forward. Don't stop. That's all I can tell you.
Most definitely.
We're signing off. Simone Williams. Deuces.